from there, so I've got my diet, the training stuff sorted, so then I moved into the diet specifically. So I'm still keeping like a really high amount of protein in my diet. Like I haven't actually changed the protein requirements from when I was in my cut. Yeah, 250 to 270 per day. And then I'm sitting maintenance.
How much is that supplemented a day?
I have a fair bit. It'd be like 100 grams of it.
Yeah. So I've got my 28-day weight loss challenge running at the moment.
Yep.
Everyone's on. There's some like heavier individuals that are like 1.8.
Yeah.
Most people are like 2.5. 2, 2.2, 2.5, depending on where you are in that leanness spectrum.
Yeah. I think the more trained you are, you need to be over 2.2 anyway. I think. Yeah.
And it's just an easy way to get people to still eat lots of food and pull available energy down a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of the group chat's been like, how do I get this? I'm like, stop being so afraid of supplements.
Yeah. Some people people treat protein shakes like they treat eggs. It's like, I can only have 2 eggs a day.
Yeah. So I'm like, who said?
And then they'll go and eat like 3 meals of chicken.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how much chicken can you eat a day? You know, it's like there's just these like weird rules that like the nutrition and diet industry have kind of like just thrown out. Like, oh, you shouldn't have more than this. It's like you can eat as much as you need to, you know, providing that, like you're still getting a wide variety of protein sources. Because I double scoop my protein in the morning and I double scoop my protein midday, throughout the day. So that's 45 grams a serving, 90 grams is being supplemented. Yeah. So take that from, so it's I only have to eat 180 grams of protein in the meal, and I'll have 40 of that from egg whites, and then I'll have 80 of that from chicken, just in one serving. Yeah. So then dinner comes around, it's only 50 grams served.
It's easy. Yeah.
It's so easy to get in.
Yeah, mine's 85 grams a day supplements. So I have protein water when I train. And I have core with 2 scoops in the afternoon. And then, I alternate my 4 meals a day. Or now 3, I alternate minced chicken. Yeah,
the one thing I found was now the calories are going up. It's actually easier to meet the protein because just food has protein in it.
Yeah, just like more rice.
Yeah, you'll get like, maybe 15 grams extra a day of just like...
Which... That's why you're pushing the 270, right?
Yeah, because I could get 250, no problem.
Yeah, drop some cereal in and all that
correct.
Kind of shit.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So calorie-wise, I went with like 35 calories a kilo, which is, for me, like...
That's maintenance or that's your pain surplus?
Yeah, maintenance. So that's like, generally I'll do like between 30 and 35. So if you're higher in body fat and inactive, I'll do 30. If you're higher in activity and still kind of like high-ish in body fat, I'll do 35.
Yeah.
And if you're lean, it doesn't matter whether you're active or not. If you're lean, I'll push you straight to 35.
Yeah.
And then if you're somewhere in the middle where you're kind of like not lean, but you're kind of like, and you're kind of not active, and I'll put you at 32.5.
Do you make adjustments based on your protein intake for that?
No. So it's just calories per kilo. I just set that and I'm like, this is, let's start you at 32 and let's start you at 35 and let's just see what happens.
Yeah. So I'm on 200 less than that. I'll do the calories per kilo.
How much?
31.
Yep.
But with 2 days a week that are not that.
So it's probably more around 34.
It's probably pretty close to 35, to be honest, across the week. And that makes sense because my body weight's held, my waist measurement's held. And like I said, I'm like, I don't deserve this.
I'm the same. I'm the same weight in the morning and I'm the same weight before bed every night.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's like 90 and then 92.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
It's just, I've done that for the whole week.
Yeah, it's perfect. So that's interesting. So what I found is my maintenance previously was like 25.
Right.
Eating 180 grams of protein.
Yeah.
2 grams per kilo, 180 grams. 2,500 was kind of my limit.
Yep.
Now, I would have averaged over Christmas. In my head, I was like, it's probably about 3,000, which looking at the math seems about right. And I was like, I was maintaining there. I was like, fuck, there's no way I thought I could maintain at 3,000.
Yeah.
But I was also...
You're doing 5 days of training and you're walking your kid every day. Like
4K steps different.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I would say you're just overall activity. You were probably just inactive, like in terms of like a population.
Having
like
done the steps, taking them out, I feel like shit.
I haven't taken mine out. I still do a
just
walk.
like days I miss.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah.
No, give me my 10. 15 was too inconvenient.
Yeah, me too.
10's great.
Yeah, I still walk Mav every day, and I still do 20 to 30 minutes after the gym.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because I feel
what
like...
does that get you to?
Around 10, 9, 10, you know.
Yeah. So I do I do that too. I take LJ for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I
it's just
think
not at the gym, so I'm like...
Yeah. It has to be done. Like, I just can't, I feel like shit. My hips hurt, my back hurts, I sit too much.
You still do that leg day?
Legs.
So do you walk?
Yeah. I actually need to do it more on leg day, I feel like, because it just starts that circulation. Like, I know the muscle damage is going to happen, but it's just like, it kind of does help recovery-wise. Because I know I'm just going to sit on the computer the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this has to go down.
Yeah, because there's that adage of like, don't do lower body cardio after leg day. It's like
it's walking anyway. It's like, what if you didn't have a car?
Yeah, and or you're a tradie, or you fucking like didn't sit on your ass all day.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah,
like
the voices that you get in your head sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, it's just ludicrous when you think about it. And it's like how we bought into it too.
Yeah,
it's like, don't do it. But it's like, what if you didn't own a car?
Yeah. Yeah, or you like walked around for your job.
Yeah,
like we did.
Yeah.
Don't go on the treadmill after you train.
Do anything,
but
after
do
leg.
4 PT sessions.
Don't do anything after leg day.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to do that for 2 weeks, and then we're moving into a surplus. Surplus is going to be, like I said, 1 to 200, possibly 300 calories. I'm basically just going to set the first benchmark, see what the rate of gain is over about a 2 to 3 week period. I'm looking for around 1% of an increase in body weight per month. Just dividing that up, so it's like a couple hundred grams a week.
Yeah.
And then, just reassessing from there. Like, I'll just chip it up.
Yeah.
Because I know I'll have to chip it up as my body weight increases. Like, the maintenance of that body weight will increase.
Yep.
So you just like, but we're talking like alterations in calories of like 20 calories.
Yeah.
It's not going to be much. So that's the plan. Now, every single plan needs a timeline. So I'm going to give myself, what do we got? Month, 8 weeks, about 10 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give myself the first benchmark of 10 weeks. I'm probably going to lean more towards 8.
Thailand.
I'm going to move more towards 8 because we're going to Thailand. So I'm just going to do like a smash and grab, like fucking rapid fat loss protocol to just tighten things up before we go.
For you, Tim.
Before we go. Hopefully he hears that.
That'd be the best.
I'm gonna send him this episode now.
Yeah, I already messaged Steph. I'm like, my only goal for Thailand is to get Tim to come and do a bodybuilding session with us. She's like, he loves bodybuilding.
Oh, mad!
Like, all right, if I wasn't buying my ticket, I already am.
Fuck yeah, that's mad. I'm in. So 8 week time frame first, and then we'll see what if we can stretch it out.
Yeah,
because if I'm still okay with the composition, like. Fuck the dieting for Thailand. I'll just rock up.
You'll still be in the 1%.
I'll just be swole. Yeah, that's it. And we're going to Thailand. Like, we're going to stand out anyway.
Yeah.
So that's it. Now in terms of tracking, I'm still taking my progress photos. I'm still checking in once a week. Mm-hmm. I'm tracking my body weight, and I'm they're the main things that I use for myself.
Yeah.
Body weight, progress photos, and then training performance obviously as well.
Of course.
Yeah, making sure my lifts are going up progressively.
Yeah. So my plan has adjusted a little bit. Because my maintenance calories is higher than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bump to like probably I'll go maybe 28 for my low week.
Yeah.
And then increase 150 at a time. So I'll end up 300 calories in a surplus on the high week.
Yeah.
And then pull back down. I think I time it that my low week is like the week before we go.
Yeah.
So if I need to, I'll just cut that high week and do 2 weeks at low before we head off.
What's the most amount of weight you reckon you could lose in 2 weeks?
Lose 3 kgs.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Yeah, like killing yourself. Yeah.
I reckon I could lose 5.
Oof.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could still work and lose 2.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's like. But it's kind of... Do you ever, like, think about that shit, though? Like, you just set yourself, like, fucked up things that you could do?
Yeah.
Like,
usually it's work, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I just think about those things all the time. Like, I wonder how much body fat I could lose. Or, like, how much weight I could lose. Because you wouldn't lose the body fat. Like, you just jack the protein.
Yeah.
Have some assistance. Like, train hard,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I always think about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe I should document it.
So, with the cycle, I also had a thought of increasing my baseline by 50 calories a cycle.
Yeah.
So every 4 weeks, everything bumps up 50 calories. Body weight's going to go up, assuming there's going to be some kind of metabolic adaptation, potentially, not sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, the 50 calories is just like it'll work.
Yeah.
It's just like you might.
Would you?
It would depend on how much weight you put on.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's obviously going to be reflective of comparing week to week, one versus
Yeah,
four,
because it's like if you're, let's say 35 calories a kilo is the maintenance number. When you go up in a kilo, times that by 35, that's different.
Yep, agreed. Yeah.
Yes, but it's hard when it's only like 300 grams. It's like, okay, up at 11 calories. Like, it's not worth it.
It's not enough.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So, to answer your question bluntly, yes, it'll work. It's like, would there be another way? Absolutely. But yeah, definitely.
So if you looked at it, so say in a vacuum, do you need to increase your surplus over time, or you're only adjusting it based on body weight, or you're adjusting it based on adaptation, like the reverse dieting theory, that you'd be able to eat more food without?
I think the only way after your maintenance point that happens is if you move more.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
If your daily activity is increasing for whatever reason,
which mine will not be.
Yeah, then you're eating into the calories being used to create. Not even create, because the protein creates the muscle. It's just like the extra calories support what gets done to build the muscle, like to create the stimulus, because it's really just protein that makes muscle tissue.
Yeah,
protein and obviously like the training. Well, the training,
of course. Yeah.
Because even if you look at I had a peep at some surplus data, like hypertrophy surplus data. And like the groups that ate at maintenance and the groups that ate in a surplus, like the muscle mass was pretty comparable.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I think it was like 1 to 200 calories. Like, forgive me if I'm butchering this, but you can go and find it. It's not hard. So I think it was 1 to 200 calories, and the hypertrophy was like just a tiny bit better than being at maintenance. And then once they got the surplus to like 300 to 500 or something along those lines, like the hypertrophy was the same, but the body fat was significant.
More.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. There's just like a point. It's like diminishing returns with everything, right? Like you're going to build heaps of muscle up until this point,
until you're not,
and then you're going to build this, and then you're going to build the same amount of muscle, but you're going to feel fucked because you can only do so much training volume. So I think it's the same process with most things. It's like a little bit's good, more is better till it's not.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Agreed. Yeah.
Tracking
wise for me, keeping the posing in's been really good.
Yeah.
What I've added, so I'm metricing. I've done this for clients for ages. Putting a cap on my waist measurement.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And then so I've actually been doing that every 2 days. So the tape measure sits in front of the scales. I stand on the scales. I measure my waist, put it in the app, and move on with my life.
My only resistance to that for myself would be the fact that my waist is the first place that I get.
Yeah.
The body fat to come back.
Yeah.
So I would have to use something else, I reckon. But it's not a bad idea.
Just like setting your range. So like if you had the data, you'd be able to say like I looked good at my waist was at 84. Yeah. Well, I know I looked good.
You're setting a threshold, and I know what my threshold is, but from my poses.
From a look, yeah.
Yeah, I can be like, this is me at so I realistically think that I can get to probably 93, 94, and I can tell from my front double bicep.
Yeah.
Just how the hips look.
Yeah.
Just how my chest looks, how my lats kind of come out. And I can be like, this is the best 94.
Yeah.
In terms of conditioning and muscle mass, that I've seen. So I think and everyone needs a benchmark to know where the max threshold lies, because then all we're trying to do is not tip on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start to get
fat.
That's when you start to get to the point where you look out of shape and you're not happy with yourself. Like, we're doing all right. I took on a client who got encouraged at the time to just push the body weight too far.
Yeah.
And to the point where she was not like super uncomfortable, super unmotivated. And I was just like, what's the point in that?
Yeah.
Just anymore. Like if you're getting so out of shape and like if you train 5 days a week, I would like to think that people can see it.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, it just looks like you worked out a little bit, but like you're out of shape. Like no one should fucking get there, man. Like unless they're like, I don't know, like a powerlifter and they don't care.
Well, that's literally what I was going to say. Is like, I've hung my hat on the performance thing. So you can tell I train because I deadlift 260 kilos. Yeah. And then it was like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. And I was kind of just like a guy that goes to the gym. I was like, oh, okay, so take some body fat off. All of a sudden, it's like people are like, what the fuck? Like, okay, you obviously take this very, very seriously and have applied yourself over a very extended period of time. 6 months ago, people were just like, you just do the goes to the gym. Yeah. So, I agree. Staying
you never want to get to that on the other side.
It just makes the cut shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't want to cut for 16 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it sometimes has to be even more than that. So, you got to be careful.
Depending on what the end point is. 100%.
Yeah, so like now, even with like some of the boys in their off season, I'm like, this is like 12, 16 weeks. So I'm like, I understand you just did a prep, but I'm like, we can't push like we did last time. We don't need to either. Yeah. Because your physiques are already there. Yeah. So I'm like, just planting seeds now. We're about 4 months from finishing the growth phase. I'm like, hey, we're going to have to do a little tidy up. Yeah. To just get dialed in for that now mentally. Yeah. So when it drops and stuff, we can utilize the time and then hop out.
Yeah. I did Sandra's plan this morning.
Yep.
She didn't see it coming. Just gave her a 2-week mini cut.
Yeah.
On rough, like more lower than she's ever been. Yeah. It's like we just need she had Thailand. She was sick,
you just need to polish it up. Yeah.
Like, pull this in. Yeah. So then it's a planned 12-week growth phase that I hope goes to 16 because we're lean enough. We don't have to start dieting yet. And she was like, okay. Like, I can die for 2 weeks to know that there's 4 weeks extra on the end. Yeah. Because I'm not, what do we want to call it, over fat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Gives you a lot of runway.
Yeah, so I like that idea of whatever I'm not objective enough with how I look. So I couldn't do photos.
Yeah.
Because my mental state affects what I see in the photo.
No, I understand.
So whatever it is for you, whether it's a weight cap, whether it's a measurement, whether it's a photo, whatever.
Yeah. Whether it could even be like once I get to this notch on my weight belt. Like I know for me, I'm like a couple of weeks away from having to loosen it out, but it's fine because I'm on the lowest setting. Yeah. But it's like once I go fill that one out, I'm like, bruh, it's over. Yeah. So you just need to know what they are. Yeah. Yeah, and then go from there.
To set that boundary for yourself. So then if you fuck up your diet, your numbers aren't perfect. Yeah. You have the limit. Absolutely. So if you get it wrong, you don't sit in there for 6 months and just committed to this plan.
Yeah.
That you're just like, I feel a bit fat. But it's like you've got a metric in place to be like, when this happens, we stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about you. Like, I've felt fat multiple times. And then I get on the scales. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, all of Christmas.
Just hit a front double in front of my mirror because the lighting's sick. And I'm like, all right, we're good.
We're
Yeah. So in summary, any goal that you're working towards needs to have you need to have a specific outcome. Then you need to have a plan for that. It needs to fit your preferences. My program's different to Ben's, but our goals are kind of the same. Mm-hmm. So, and then the program needs to be orchestrated in a way that prioritizes those outcomes. Then your diet's the same. It's like work off where you've been, where you're at now, and where you're going. So we've just come off a cut. We recovered. We went into a maintenance block. Now we're pushing into a surplus. We've set ourselves deadlines for that, and we know where the benchmarks lie in terms of our data tracking to ensure that we don't spill or, take things in the wrong direction. So that's essentially like every single person who's listening to this podcast should be working in those capacities if they want to bring their absolute best in terms of their results in the gym.
Yeah.